This episode's brought to you by Stormlancers. Fight together, rise together. Stormlancers is available now on PC and Nintendo Switch 2.
Today, in the nerdy news you need to know about, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake is finally official with an official title, and it's been leaked. Leon Kennedy is in Resident Evil Requiem, and our review of Unbeatable. We'll have all this and more because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the expectant father.
Just a little over a month ago.
How's
Greg.
that feeling, Tim Geddes?
Oh, it's a lot. But no, it's good. You know,
What
it's
is
all
the date?
coming
What is
together.
the expected date again?
January 17th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're
wow.
really,
Wow.
we're about to be in the, like, you know.
For some reasons, I thought it was January 20th. January
yeah,
17th.
17th. It's real
That's
close.
real.
It's definitely in that, like, I'm not allowed to leave the city type thing.
Yeah.
There is a big fear.
You're in the drop zone.
That's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
There's a real big fear for me that
Of course there
matters
is.
more to me and Gia than most people on the planet.
Lay it on me.
We need to be in San Francisco when this child is born, or else we can't say the child is born and raised. And we know some kids that this was a problem. They're all like, oh, we're going to take a day trip to Sonoma. Oh, cool. You got a Marin kid now. You know, oh, we're about to go to fucking whatever. I mean, and it's not just San Francisco bullshit. Curran wanted his kid born in Oakland more than anything. Guess what? Born in fucking San Leandro.
Oh, embarrassing. You hate
Yeah.
to see that.
Oh my
You hate
God.
to see that.
Big deal.
Is it a big deal to G2?
The biggest
Because that's
deal.
like one of the things I love about your relationship is how loud and proud you both are to be born and raised San Franciscans. Like,
Yeah.
I know how much that means to both
Mhm.
of you. So, but I never thought that like you took it that literally.
Oh, yeah.
So have you just like,
I mean, my mom was. My dad was. My brother is. Her sister is.
sure.
We got to keep this going.
Sure. I've just never ever thought about. I've never assigned any importance to where I was born or where Ben was born. I mean,
weren't born in San Francisco.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I lie all the time. I guess no, I don't say that. I guess you don't see me saying Glen Ellen born and raised a lot, so I get away with it.
But you shout out Glen Allen, though.
Oh, of course. I mean, I was raised there for sure. The mean streets that I'm unincorporated
Yeah.
Glen Ellen, no sidewalks. What up? You know what I mean? But technically born in Winfield.
But this has been a big conversation in our household.
Interesting. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, has it been that you
Because
guys?
we went to a birthing class and they put the fear of God in us. They're just like, yo, like if like there's often not room, so you're gonna have to go somewhere else.
Oh,
Now, luckily, the hospital we're going to, there's a lot of space.
I mean, more luckily than
feeling
anything, you know,
pretty
Kevin.
I do.
Kevin can do
yeah,
anything.
Kevin will figure
Kevin
this
can
out.
do anything.
Kevin will solve
if
this
you
problem.
roll up to a San Francisco hospital like we got no room, my first call would be Kevin.
Yeah.
Get the towels, toss them in a Ranger
Let's
Danger,
go.
meet me in the parking lot. Bring your wire cutters. We're gonna fucking get this baby out. You know what I mean?
It's happening.
I'd appreciate that. Damn. Okay. But other than that, are you excited? Where we at?
Yeah, of course I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm also just terrified. I'm in a place where right now, real talk, I'm trying to just celebrate my final moments without a child.
Sure,
And I mean that in a
sure.
positive way.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like I'm going to have an entire life with a kid. And I'm looking forward to that more than anything, honestly. I am legitimately so excited. So I don't want my excitement for my time right now. And excitement's not even it. My just concern of seeing it just lose, seeing the sand fall through the hourglass,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that's not in opposition to my excitement. It's also just a reality of
course,
just like,
your life's
man,
about to change.
I'm every single moment I have, I'm like, what should I be doing right now?
Yeah.
You know what I've been doing? Just casually, randomly playing through Metroid Zero Mission.
Oh, okay.
And God,
enjoy that.
that's what I want. Some me time. You know what I mean? G went to sleep and I'm like, I'm in such a Metroid mood because of Primes. The last couple of nights I've been playing, I'm about to beat it. What a good time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
some old school Nintendo games. I'm like, that's what I need
I
in
love
my
that.
final hours.
Kevin, can you do me a favor? Go to Tim's one. Give Tim the one. And then can you give me a digital zoom to make his face very large on the screen? I know I'm asking you to do things, but I know you can do them. Okay, great. And then bring it up so we get more of his hair. So I want the audience to take a screenshot because everybody always talks about how gray Greg Miller is, and screenshot this, everybody, and then mark the date. And then every December 9th, I want to come back and check in from here on out. Tim, rotate your head. There you go. Perfect. Screenshot that for me, everybody. You can BS it at me. That's a blue sky, Tim. And I'll save it, and then I will put it in the calendar that December 9th is when we need to check in on Tim.
Yeah, and it's deceiving as well because I put a lot of schlock in my hair, and it definitely hides it. Andy was shocked when he saw me recently when I got a haircut, and I was all natural. Oh man. I look like you.
I know.
It's crazy, man. But
imagine what I look like with no schlock in my hair.
OMGLX says Tim out here golden gatekeeping.
That's a good super chat.
The golden gatekeeper. Could that be?
That is actually really like good. Ooh. I mean, it's not a positive connotation. You know, we'll work on it. If you didn't know, everybody, oh, God, I almost knocked over from my coffee. It's Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, podcast services around the globe. If you like that, we'd love you to pick up the Kind of Funny membership. Of course, we're an independent team of 11 folks in a very busy, complicated, competitive media landscape, and we'd love your $10 on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. You can do patreon.com/kindoffunny. That's a better one. Apple or Spotify, where you can get all of our shows ad-free. That's more than $80 a month. You get your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series we call Gregway. And of course, you'd get good karma for supporting a small, independent business all about live talk shows. Of course, today's a big day because every day's a big day here. After Kind of Funny Games Daily, you're going to get the Gamescast, where we predict the Game Awards predictions.
I can't wait. These are my favorite episodes.
My thing is, everybody keeps leaking things.
That's how it always goes,
This is one of the most pre-briefed Game Awards I've ever been on.
And that's...
I say, stop fucking emailing me.
Yeah,
stop saying
That
things.
is the problem, is it's like the leaks are one thing, but it's the, like, Tomb Raider being there. I understand. The point of it is getting people to watch the show. So I understand. But it does make this a little less fun. Having said that, I think it makes it more fun for us, because then we need to come up with some bullshit.
Then it's just hopes and dreams. But then we look like idiots when it doesn't happen.
No, we don't.
When somebody says Jordan Peele comes out and it does, oh, wait. When somebody said Harrison Ford's going to, oh, wait.
What's he going to say today,
the Game Awards?
What's he going to say?
This one's a lock. Yeah. My celebrity guest this time, a lot.
I can't wait. But what I love about it is, like, it's either hopes and dream stuff, which is always just fun to talk about, but also I'm talking about the bullshit of just like adding all the and this type.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if we so much shit that I guarantee you there's multiple people in this studio right now that are like, oh, fuck, I had Leon Kennedy and Resident Evil 9 on my list. It's like, all right, cool. You could get more creative with it, though. You know what I mean? What's the length of his beard? Now we know, so we can't use that. But, like, you know what I mean? We've got to add little X factors to the whole thing. I can't wait for this episode. I got some
always fun. After the Gamescast is Elden Ring Nightreign DLC streaming. You'll enjoy that. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Gregway is 18 minutes of my hopes and dreams for the Pokemon DLC that launches tonight. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. Before we begin, Krabby Patty gets one super chat and it says, what does the Golden Gatekeeper need when he's thirsty? A Bay Bridge. No.
No. I feel like I might be missing the, like, double entendre.
Yeah, I would think if it was a Bay Beer, a beer bridge.
Yeah.
A Bay Bridge is over the... This is a Pika Andy in the chat. Get out. Krabby Patty, you can try again. We'll give you a second. Of course.
I do want to say real quick, there's one chat I just saw that I want to find because it's very funny to me. Ramirez Jam
Bay Breeze is a drink, somebody says. Oh. I guess if you're like fucking on a golf course and you're 90
that is some
old.
Eminem rhyme scheme shit of like trying to make things rhyme. You're like, okay, that's only you could do that. Ramirez R Jam says, I still remember when Greg predicted on Beyond that a giant caterpillar would walk across the stage. Does that ring a bell?
No, of course not. But it was in line with, this isn't that episode. This isn't that episode. But, like, this is how predictions used to be, where it would be. Jeremy Dunham once asked me on a podcast Beyond, like, episode 13. You know what I mean? Like, I've not even worked there a full year yet. Predictions for something that was going to happen. I was like, they're going to introduce a SingStar mascot. I'm like, I don't fucking know. How would I know what the fuck's going on that level? I don't remember the caterpillar, but, again, when you know too much, like I know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, a few of the Greg games, I know too much.
Yeah.
I just know too much.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
Hey, so everybody, watch the episode, and anything Greg doesn't say, guaranteed.
100% read into it. Don't worry about it. Let's begin this show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 7 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen!
Number 1, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is the name of Ubisoft's long-awaited pirate remake. This is Tom Phillips at IGN. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is the full name of Ubisoft's Practical. God damn it. I got so hung up on the pirates. I thought he was thinking of pirate one. Practical remake that's had more leaks than a sunken ship. There's your pun. The game's new title is now visible on the PEGI, European Ratings Board website, which is about as official as it gets. Parentheses.
There's someone on the roof.
There better be. Either that or someone.
Kev, do we have knowledge of a man on the roof? Because I'm definitely here.
We
Is
never
Santa
do.
here? It's a little early.
Something's up there. Somebody, maybe it's a bear. Parentheses, the game is rated 18 for violence and bad language. Additionally, there's a mention here that Black Flag Resynced will include the ability to make in-game purchases. It is still unknown how Resync will plug into the franchise's existing Animus hub, which lets you buy optional cosmetic content. Alternatively, this could potentially signify the ability to buy DLC further down the line. Is the game's memorable Freedom Cry add-on in the line for Remake 2? Today's development comes just a few weeks after the game's release date was reportedly spilled online. During Ubisoft's latest financial results, the French publisher laid out a slate of upcoming games set to arrive before the end of its current fiscal year on March 31st, 2026. The name of one of these games was left as unannounced, though a subsequent report by Insider Gaming stated this was the not-so-mysterious project, this was the not-so-mysterious new version of Black Flag, which is scheduled to arrive during the week of March 23rd, 2026.
Yeah, very interesting that we're still hearing about this. Where there's smokes, I always say. I think that this does make a lot of sense, specifically because Ubisoft didn't have a forward this year, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have a space to talk about the games they had coming. Obviously, Ubisoft in a pretty interesting spot the last couple years, but we do know about the kind of already announced remakes in the form of Splinter Cell and Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. And this was the third one that everyone's kind of like, it's going to happen eventually. And then it's like, okay, it does seem like it's actually happening. So all of this, not surprising to me at all. There is an additional thing that I've seen chatter about it actually being January instead of March, where this thing is ready. But there was also conversation about that for Prince of Persia. I can't imagine they would put both out so soon. But I think there's a high likelihood.
If you were Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, Resynced. Black Flag, an amazing Assassin's Creed game.
Favorite.
Adored that one.
For sure.
Adored it. I'm not going to replay this one. Probably. There's too many other games to play all the time. I've had my fun with this. I'm not stoked, blah, blah, blah. I honestly feel like this would be, okay, the rumors of it being January. I would try to drop it on the day. I'm sure they're doing physical copies, which I'm sure is where we get sticky with it all.
Yeah.
But like in the same way we did Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake, bam, and granted that kind of leaked, but as well. I think this would be such a fun Game Awards. Here it is, and it's available now.
I don't know. I feel like there's still, like, to the point you're making, I think January is a better spot for it, because I think that January is relatively slow. Yesterday we looked at the calendar, and it's not like there's major releases coming out.
We always talk about January and February is such a sweet spot of it's Christmas, it's a new year. We've said goodbye to all the game of the years. Now we look forward.
Exactly.
Let's get something fun.
And there's no better way to look forward than a remake. But I think that February in the last couple of years has really kind of just become like overwrought. Like you got to get out of February. There are way too many games coming in February. But January 2026, as of right now, we'll see after the Game Awards, looks a little like there's some space for
some room to breathe.
A big guy like Assassin's Creed can come in and like make some motion, right?
Yeah.
And to your point, I do think there's a chance that Greg Miller does play that in a way that you wouldn't play it in March, right? Like I just think timing wise on that. But I do think that the Game Awards shadow drop type thing, it's like I still think specifically this year there is such a drive for people. I don't know a single person that's in the gaming sphere that's like, I've played every single thing I wanted to this year. Like there's always like, I want to get back to that. I want to get back to that. And it feels a little bit more real than prior years.
Sure.
Like there's always interest in going back to games. But this year it's like, and I think especially after the Game Awards, like I think people are going to, like people that aren't listening to the show. Yeah, it's going to be like, all right, cool. There's a lot to do and a lot to play. And I also think there's going to be multiple shadow drops at
but here's my you're not wrong. Everything you just said makes a lot of sense, and maybe I'm just being bullish on a remake and I guess that's it too, right? maybe that's part of it too, where this is a remake and not a remaster. I'm kind of treating this like a remaster, I guess. Yeah, my own argument falls apart there. I think because this is going to be a bigger deal than just a remaster. Everything looks nice.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta say it.
We'll see what Roger gets on Fantasy Critic into that.
God damn, don't get me started there. But I am a storied person when it comes to not being a fan of getting cute with the remake remaster names. Don't call it Resynced.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, I get it. They sync in the game. Nobody gives a shit. Like, call it something that we're gonna understand. But whatever. I think the moment we see this game, we'll understand what level it is.
And you know what, honestly, even back to your point of like what you might play it in January, Greg. You're right, I might, I guess. If it's a remake, I was very hung up on remaster. So yeah, because that's interesting. Okay, now I'm doing this. Kobe writes in super chat and says, "Will the remake be going? Is the remake going? I'm gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna edit as I go. Will the remake be more in line with the modern RPG style, or will it be more in line with the original?"
That's the thing, is like I think that's what I'm interested in seeing is like how much of a remake versus remaster is it, where I do think my expectations are it will implement some of the Odyssey Valhalla stuff.
See, now you are talking my language. Now again, everybody, Kevin, give me the one. Hey everybody, it's me, Greg Miller. I want to apologize. I broke the cardinal rule. I threw the baby out with the bathwater. All right. Remake's not that exciting, or remaster's not that exciting, but I conflated in the same way. The Oblivion thing, I was like, oh, this is fun to tinker with. I'm not going to put, I guess I put 20 hours in, but I'm not going to put, 1,000,000 hours in, right? I'm wrong. If this is a fucking remake of Black Flag, and it is everything we loved about Black Flag, and then some of this fucking RPG stuff on top of it, and yada, and like, who is on our roof? Is it Santa? I'll be all about it. Thank you very much for your time.
And real talk, to that point, we got to think about the context of Ubisoft. We've been talking about this a lot, where they're not in the best place. Assassin's Creed Shadows doing very well. Outlaws not doing as well as they needed it to. Those were the two big guns, right? And now we kind of see a lot of projects being canceled, a lot of teams being shuttered, just a lot of not great news and not hearing too much from them. And I think that when you look at, all right, well, what do they have? What are the wells they can go back to kind of like get back on track? And that I do think relies on some kind of remakes, reimaginings, also sequels. We're going to get a new Far Cry at some point, but I also think that even that franchise, like, they're taking the right amount of time right now, because I think if they went any sooner, there is a fatigue already, right? And I think when it comes to Assassin's Creed, Black Flag is in the perfect spot where it's kind of beloved and it's old, but not too old. So it's like it doesn't need a full reimagining. It just needs kind of a modern, some tweaks and modernizations that they're adding from the template and systems they already have.
Yeah.
Applying that to the pirate world, apply the Viking stuff, apply the Greek stuff to the pirate world. And the biggest thing about that is we're talking about Black Flag, which was a PS4, Xbox One launch title, debatably the launch title for those consoles, right?
Yeah, big deal.
That was the title that I would say most people played on their brand new next gen consoles. That was 2 generations ago, right? Like, so it has been enough time. So I think it's kind of the perfect move to present this not as just a simple remaster, but actually as like hey, we're putting our Black Flag down on this being a major title for us that I wouldn't be surprised if we end up getting DLC for.
See, I wouldn't be surprised either. When, going back to the article here from Tom, where he talks about there being in-game purchases and bringing in, it's unknown how Resync will plug into the Animus. Like every Assassin's Creed before the Animus, and I think after this Animus hub thing, right? I didn't play a lot of Shadows, but like when you're on the main menu, there's always go buy this costume right there. I'm not as hung up on what could this possibly mean. It's going to be fucking boat skins and
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not too hung up, but yeah, DLC would be cool. All right, you know what? Put me down as tentatively interested.
Everyone. Put it on the board.
I have a very busy January. Lot will be happening on the island of Smallville in Animal Crossing. All right, we will have lots of things to get ready before the 15th and then after the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
But I will keep my eyes peeled for this, as will everyone here at Kinda Funny Games Daily. Number 2 on the Roper Report, another leak for you. Leon S. Kennedy is in Resident Evil Requiem. This is a PlayStation Store leak. We go back to Tom Phillips at IGN.com. There it is. Look, that's it. Yeah, it's him. That's him back there. At long last, Leon S. Kennedy has been confirmed to appear in Resident Evil Requiem via a leaked image on the PlayStation Store. The reveal of new cover art for the game featuring Leon finally puts to bed one of this year's biggest gaming mysteries, something developer Capcom itself has refused to address. Just days ahead of Requiem's appearance at the Game Awards, presumably we'll see Leon officially announced there. This morning, Resident Evil fans began spotting new cover art appearing on the PlayStation 5 in the pre-download screen for owners of the standard, non-deluxe version of the game. IGN has now verified this ourselves and can confirm the image is legitimate. Leon is real.
Yeah.
That reads like you're on the battlefield with a microphone. IGN has now verified this ourselves and can confirm the image is legitimate. Leon is real. Leon smashes. You know what I mean?
I could not be more thrilled about this. My boy is back. It was almost a foregone conclusion with everything we know about this game.
Do you think he's playable?
City, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, they've already said there's 2 playable protagonists.
Yeah.
Knowing how Resident Evil games work, that it's just everything about this from what we've seen that seemed incredibly likely. There have been some other leaks / rumors / potential fake things going around that have me very interested and some of them concerned. A couple days ago, some images leaked that looked quite convincing of the second playable character being Rose Winters, who's the daughter of the protagonist of the last couple games.
Yeah.
And that's like, please don't do this. Like, no.
Well, I need to know. Remember, we went to the future and saw her.
Yeah.
Well, didn't she get on a bus?
She did get on a bus. There was a bus.
I fucking played that game. What up?
But I do not want that. And like, if they're involved, I mean, I would prefer them not be. But like, maybe, whatever. But when there was a brief moment where I'm like, fuck, is Leon not the second character? Like, that was kind of a bummer. So now seeing all this, look, we still don't have things actually confirmed. I'm sure in a couple days, it's going to be explicitly clear if he's playable or not.
Yeah.
I hope so, at least. We're very close to this game, by the way. Right.
Yeah, it's
February 29th.
Yeah, February.
I think.
Yeah.
27th. Very close. So we're about to see everything they want us to see of this game very, very soon. So I imagine that it includes the second playable character. And it's my boy Leon, which is awesome.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Diana, but a woman has shown up. I believe it's Rose Winters. She's drank some kind of serum, and she's as tall as a building. It's a kaiju game. That's what I'm pitching you here.
Okay.
Oh, you just play as the reporter.
Resident Evil 9 looks exquisite.
Yeah, it looks scary as fuck. I like that a lot about it. I'm excited to see what is up their sleeve.
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of the last one, but I love the one before that. So like, I'm still here. I'm still here for it. I want to try.
I could not be more here for this. It feels like it's everything I liked about 7 and 8 and the originals. So it's like combining it. If they pull it off based on my preview, I'm like, they're pulling this off so far. And I really think that they are doing something cool. I don't know if you saw last week, there was some Japanese TV show had footage of Resident Evil 9 on it, and it looked very Resident Evil 1.
Oh.
Like, it looked like they're in like a mansion, and there was old school zombie coming at it. It was really funny because like the player was really bad and like missed every shot. And then the I think director of the game came out later, was just like, hey, on Japanese TV, we can't show headshots. The player's not bad. They had to not hit the zombie.
Oh my God, I love
really,
that.
really funny. But everything I've seen so far, I'm like, yes. So
How deep of a dive do you expect at Game Awards? Is it just gonna be a trailer showing Leon, or are we gonna get like a gameplay? Here we go.
I don't think we need all of that. Just a trailer showing Leon. That's all we need. Like, they've already sold the game. Like, it looks incredible.
What do you think about his new look? This game's cover shows a stubbled and haggard-looking Leon looming over Requiem's other main protagonist, Grace Ashcroft.
I would have been surprised if he looked any different, right? Like, what's Leon going to look like in this game? Older with the beard.
Still got the jacket, though. Got to have that kind of jacket.
Got to have the jacket. There's some other,
jacket.
again, this goes back to is it a leak? Is it fake? I don't know. But there's other things circulating today that look real to me and, like, look like him in a different form. And I'm like,
I don't know.
All right, cool. Like, that's Leon.
Okay.
Not mad at it at all.
Fair enough.
Exactly what I thought.
What I want to know is...
We should have bet on how long the beard was going to be. I told you.
Did you tell me that?
I just did during the show.
Oh, okay. Well, save it for the Gamescast predictions.
Yeah. Well, we already saw it.
You saw the stubble.
It's like mine.
How much going on down here? Maybe he's got one of those like Guy Fieri Metallica things going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really got into Metallica. What I really want to know, though, is story number 3, Barrett Courtney's Unbeatable review. But before then, Let me remind you that Barrett Courtney couldn't review video games for us. We couldn't talk to you about the games news, and we couldn't do a million other things without your support on patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple and Spotify. That's where you can pick up a membership to get all of our shows ad-free, get your daily dose of me, and get good karma. But right now, you're not using your benefits. So here's a word from our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Stormlancers. If you're looking for your next great co-op obsession, check out Stormlancers, a retro-inspired roguelite with anime energy and chaotic action. In Stormlancers, you and a friend crash land on a dying alien planet charged with unstable magic. It's fast, fluid, and the action is non-stop, but this roguelite isn't about flawless runs. The devs call it Crash Out Co-op because the real fun comes from those chaotic party moments, like messing up, reviving your partner at the last second, and carving up enemy hordes with your newly unlocked powers. Invite a friend for old school couch co-op or team up online. On PC and Nintendo Switch 2, only one of you needs to own the game. Steam's Remote Play Together and Switch 2's Game Share lets you hop online with a friend instantly. One copy, 2 players. Stormlancers is live on PC and Nintendo Switch 2. Fight together, rise together. Repeat. Play Stormlancers now. This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Let's talk gifts. Not the kind that get tossed in a drawer, but the kind that actually get used and appreciated. The holidays are coming up fast, and Shady Rays sunglasses are an easy win. Every pair is polarized, durable, and lightweight. They've got a ton of great-looking, high-performance styles that hold up no matter what you throw at them. And the price? Way less than you'd expect for the quality. And here's what sets them apart. If you lose or break your shades, Shady Rays has your back with their lost and broken protection. So whether you're picking up a pair for someone on your list or grabbing one for yourself, Shady Rays makes gifting simple. Quality built, looks great, and actually worth it. Start your holiday gifting early and head to shadyrays.com using code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Go to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Again, that's shadyrays.com. Use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. If you are a last-minute shopper, don't worry at all. I have the perfect gift that solves all the problems you might be having. No lie, Aura Frames are undeniably the best gift I've ever given, and I'm going to be sad when I run out of people to give it to because I'll never give a gift this great again. Families, friends, partners, everyone loves being able to have beautiful frames showing off their loved ones and all of their favorite memories. And also, it's so easy to add the photos using the Aura app. It's set up to go right out of the box. There's unlimited storage, so you can add as many photos and videos as you can find. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi with no hidden fees. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code KINDAFUNNY at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code KINDAFUNNY. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support our show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back, everybody. Joined on the ever rare appearance at the desk.
God damn it.
Sad boy Barrett himself. Barrett Courtney. Hello, Barrett.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are y'all doing today?
Very well.
Good.
They just announced a Superman Spider-Man comic book. I'm
I
pretty
know.
stoked.
Yeah.
Mark's is looking pretty great. Woo! Got an alternate cover with Kingdom Come Superman on it. No big deal. Barrett, I love having you by to review games, especially when I'm interested in them.
Oh.
And Unbeatable is one that has had all of our attention. Unbeatable is a rhythm adventure where music is illegal and you do crimes. Follow the story of Beat and her band on the run in a narrative experience full of big emotions powered by arcade flawless rhythm gameplay. It is out today. The embargo just lifted.
Yep.
It's from D-Cell Games publisher PlayStack.
Yes.
What did we think? Barrett Courtney.
So, for those who don't know, Unbeatable, Kev, actually, if you could go to the different trailer that I put up in the run of show here, Unbeatable is also a arcade rhythm game that's super stylish. You fight weird little monster enemies to the rhythm of a song, and it feels kind of like a combination of Guitar Hero and weirdly Persona dancing. I'll loop back to that in a second.
Sure.
But you have these kind of 2 tracks or 2 lanes where enemies come down, and you have only 2 inputs: your high attack and your low attack. And there's like a simple beat, or there's simple enemies, but then there's ones where you have to like hold down and do release timing for a couple of enemies where you do like you hit them a bunch of times to the rhythm of a song. And the way it feels like both of those games is obviously when you see kind of the core gameplay, seeing them come down these lanes gives a little bit of the feeling of Guitar Hero. But then, the way it kind of feels like Persona dancing in a weird way is like usually a song, when it starts, you'll have enemies coming from the right side of the screen, but then eventually they'll switch it up on you and like change it to the left side of the screen. And then as you saw just there for the video watchers, sometimes, the camera will pull back, and then you have enemies coming from both sides where you have to kind of like use your peripheral vision and lock into the matrix and kind of feel it all out, which is very, at least in my experience, a little bit of what the Persona dancing games did. 75 tracks. Mostly original stuff for the game. There's also a couple of like remixes from a couple of other indie artists, like Lena Rain has a couple of remixes on here. There's a couple of original songs from different artists as well. And a lot of the soundtrack, has this kind of garage indie rock sound, particularly from like the Japanese music scene that is like put out some like really good stuff in like the last couple of decades, and this game wears that inspiration on its sleeve.
Okay.
And it really like hits those highs of that.
How hard is it? It looks hard, Barry. Look at this. Hard.
Yeah, that seems like a difficulty I might not have gotten to yet. I've spent about nearly 20 hours, I would say, in the arcade mode. I have at least A-ranked every song, and I have S-ranked, I think, around 40 songs on hard difficulty, but there's also expert, unbeatable, and then some tracks have a difficulty higher than unbeatable. I think this experience of Unbeatable, the arcade game, is a 9 out of 10. Amazing experience. Again, the soundtrack, all original, or mostly original, I think it really spoke to me, the type of music that I mess with. There's one song on here that I think just might be my favorite song of the year. There's like it's like a 6-minute song, and it has this great vibe. It goes into this like from this fun like lighthearted riff into like a crazy guitar solo into this beautiful like synth keyboard solo. And whenever I play this track, because I played it several times, I think to myself, man, everything's gonna be okay. And then the song ends, and then the horrors come back. And so like really, I think this is the most fun I've had with a rhythm game since like the peak of the Guitar Hero days. And I highly recommend y'all checking it out if that kind of tickles something in your brain. Unbeatable is also a story-focused adventure game where you play as Beat, a young musician who goes on a crazy adventure with her band in a world where music is illegal and you do crime. Unbeatable, the story-focused adventure game, I think is one that struggles to find a good rhythm for a good chunk of its 9-hour runtime. I think the way the game kind of onboards you into the stakes of the world is really awkward and weird. The tagline of the game, right? You kind of put together what the rules of the world are, but I think the way they introduce you and are purposely vague about some things. After a few hours of my time with the story mode, I was kind of, I got the stakes of the world, but I was struggling to latch on to any like emotional stakes of what our main characters were going through. And so, I for the first few hours, I'd only played the story mode, and I remember talking to Blessing. We got code over Thanksgiving break, and I was like, man, I don't think this game's hitting for me, and I'm really bummed out about that. And that was before I really got into the weeds of the arcade mode. But then eventually, and then also kind of in those first hours, I think, you're still doing kind of like rhythm style mini games as you're kind of exploring around like little towns and like this city. Like one of the first things you can do is like help a girl count jump rope, but you have to like do it to the rhythm. There's a really fun batting cages mini game that you do to like a really fun track that I think is like really fun and addicting. But like the core gameplay you get from the arcade mode, they don't use too much in the story mode, and they kind of hold that for kind of big set piece type of story moments, which I think hits those high, like makes those moments feel really high and really cool and really stylish and fun. But I think like they wanted to hold off on that stuff, which I think makes like a weird pacing for the beginning parts of the game. But eventually, when the game starts to kind of reveal its full hand on what the story is actually about with these other characters, what it all means together, and then in turn, you're getting a kind of better pace of playing the core rhythm gameplay in like the later parts of the story. This game weirdly got me at the end of it, where I was really surprised. It went into a direction I was not expecting, but the last thing I was expecting at the end of this game was to actually like be kind of tearing up a lot. And I was, I think it's a messy story mode, but it's like weirdly a messy favorite. I think like when I was first playing through it, I was like, maybe this is like a 6 or something, but I think it lands somewhere that like I would personally give it like a 7, like a good.
And this is the story.
Yeah, this is specifically the story part of the game, where I think it's very messy, it's very weird and awkward. And the first time that I played it, when we got code, the game was really buggy. They have since done like a big patch where I actually went back and replayed the entire story mode, because I think the way they reveal kind of big certain story beats, I was kind of interested of like, okay, I want to go back and see like how this all builds up. And like, now that I know where it all goes, does it feel satisfying? And I would say like, without the bugs, I still think there's like a big awkwardness in like how a lot of things are set up. But for me, there was a big emotional payoff at the end. And I think if you're someone who's ever been really passionate about either making art or just something in your life that, drives you, but you've ever experienced that kind of beat in your life where you feel directionless with this passion, or if you're feeling that right now and that in turn causes you to feel directionless in your entire life, I think there might be something for you here. And I think there might be an emotional payoff that you get similar to myself. I would say if you're interested in the arcade mode, I would still say like, and you're not really feeling like what the story mode has to offer, I would still recommend playing through the story mode, even like maybe with a guide up of just like, all right, how do I get through this the fastest way possible? Because you do unlock some songs by in the arcade mode by playing through the story mode, and then there's some other like character unlocks that you can use to for the arcade mode and stuff. And I think some of the best songs you unlock are through the story mode, and like that one I was mentioning earlier is like kind of like a song for like a big set piece moment. So I think as an entire package,
what's the overall kind of funny review scale score?
I think obviously I think with the 7 on one side and the 9 on the other, I think as an entire package, I think Unbeatable is a great 8 out of 10 video game. I think the lows are low, especially in the story mode, but I think again that arcade mode is just some of the most fun I've had in a video game this year. And so I would highly recommend at least checking it out. And it's fun to have both of you here. Like Tim, like you saw the arcade mode stuff. Like it has a very like Dreamcast DDR presentation, and some of the songs from like I think other independent creators have a sound that's very like OG DDR sound that I think you would really fuck with. And then Greg, I think you're an emotional game guy, and I think you might be similar to me, where you're like, where's this ride going? What's going on here? But I think it could hit for you. And then I know you're also, a Guitar Hero fan, a rhythm game fan. So I think you could get something out of the arcade mode. So, it's got a great style. I would say like the arcade mode, the only thing that like honestly prevents me from giving it a higher score is like the main kind of like place that you do a lot of that gameplay. It's like only like one venue. It's like a quaint little kind of like train station, and I would have loved to see them give options of like using different locations from the story mode game to kind of like mix that up. Like at first, like it's kind of whatever, fine, but after like nearly 20 hours, I'm like,
5 songs.
Yeah, it's like, all right, like give me a little bit something to mix things up here. But yeah, I really, despite its faults, I really adore this game, and for me personally, it will be a contender.
Hell yeah.
Love that, Barrett.
Love to hear that.
Thank you.
Final question. Do you think it's going to get you the Fantasy Critic win?
No.
Okay, great.
I mean, I knew
You're 14 points behind Mike.
I won't admit this to Mike, but I knew I wasn't going to win Fantasy Critic halfway through playing through Cosmic Invasion. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, I can't admit this to Mike yet,
No,
but that's where it's gonna end for me. But again, highly recommend it. Highly, it's on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. I do not recommend it for Steam Deck, and I hope for the actual launch patch, which I don't think we got access to. I hope even some lingering bugs in the story mode kind of help the overall experience. So
Awesome.
there you go.
Thank you, Barrett.
Thank you.
Go.
We move on to story number 4. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 remake plans revealed as KOTOR 1 Reimagining continues development at Saber. This is Michael
Never
Cripe.
been a better time to announce a KOTOR 2 remake.
This is Michael Cripe at IGN.com. Saber Interactive's troubled Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is reportedly still in development, and a KOTOR 2 remake may be on the way too. The latest update from the long-in-the-works Star Wars remake comes from a GameFile report, which pulls from court documents related to false advertising lawsuit launched against Saber's Aspire Media and Lucasfilm in 2023. Recently filed records related to the suit, which involved the cancellation of the Restored Content Modification, RCM, for the Nintendo Switch 2 KOTOR 2 re-release, appears to contain both updates for the KOTOR remake as well as mentions of a mysterious project known as Juliet. Attorney Ray Kim prodded for details about what Project Juliet was during the deposition of Lucasfilm Games Vice President Douglas Riley. The Star Wars company VP's response left little room for ambiguity. Quote, Juliet was the code name for a project where we were going to do a full remake of KOTOR 2 with modern art, modern gameplay. You know, keep the story and the characters and the general content of KOTOR 2, but remake for modern hardware and modern machines with upgraded graphics and all those kind of things. It was something we were discussing with Aspire. As for the long-lost cut KOTOR 2 content, Riley clarified that, quote, the plan was we would remake the content that was in the RCM as it relates to Star Wars in that Juliet project, end quote. Whether or not a KOTOR 2 remake remains in development is hazy for now, with Riley's last update saying Juliet was, quote, technically on the roadmap as of March 2025. Should Saber continue development, it seems the plan for a reimagined version of the entire experience, even the RCM content, to be included in the final build. Many other details on the supposed KOTOR 2 remake remain a mystery, but the good news is Riley says, quote, we're starting with the remake of KOTOR 1, clarifying that Aspire, quote, Aspire isn't working on those games. Instead, the KOTOR remake is said to now be in the hands of the team behind Hellraiser Revival at Madhead Games.
I gotta be honest, man. Like, this is one of those moments where I'm just hearing the blah, 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 blah. Like, cool, great. What the fuck are we talking about here? And I know what we're talking about. This is multiple stories kind of converging over the last couple of years of the KOTOR 1 remake and all of the lost content stuff from the KOTOR 2 versions, all the Aspire Star Wars games that have come out recently. It's so complicated to talk about because I love Star Wars games. We love Star Wars games. There have been so many Star Wars games. Notice I didn't say good Star Wars games. I just said many. But the thing about Star Wars games is there have been good ones. There have been great ones.
Sure.
There have been a lot of bad ones. It almost doesn't matter. Star Wars games is a thing to itself where everybody, not everybody, lots of people, most people, I would say, have some foundational moment playing a Star Wars game. And it could have been the best one or the worst one, but it's their moment and they hold on to it. The people that were lucky enough to have KOTOR be theirs, they're the lucky ones. They're the one, and there's a couple examples of other games I could say that about, but really, KOTOR is that golden goose of going above and beyond just video game, but just for Star Wars fandom. This shit actually matters. This is really making a hit. So the idea of a KOTOR remake, obviously incredibly exciting. I think we've already had remasters of that game. We've seen it kind of in its original form, but just kind of up-resed and just kind of in a more playable, easier to access form multiple times at this point. But the idea of an actual remake is so exciting. And then we hear all of the troubled development. We hear all of that stuff. And it's just like, it's just crazy how many remakes we've gotten in the last 5 years of some of the most iconic, best games of all time from the Xbox, PS2, GameCube generation. Yeah. And in different forms, seeing some masterpieces in the forms of Resident Evil 4 and Metroid Prime Remastered and Dead Space, slightly off generations there, but like
your point stands,
right? But then you have things like Prince of Persia that for some reason, I mean, we know some of the reasons there, but it's the teams they gave it to, the budgets they gave, and all of that. Seems like that's the same issue here with the KOTOR situation.
Yeah.
But like KOTOR and Splinter Cell is another example too. But like, man, it's crazy to even be talking about KOTOR 2 and still
and there's no KOTOR 1.
Yeah, and
we have no faith you're going to be able to do this.
But now they're saying that it's in the hands. Like they're currently saying that game's still being made.
Yeah.
That's the part that actually kind of surprises me the most.
Yeah. I mean, they'll never let that go.
I mean,
and it won't be good. I just don't see how everything you've heard about this, trying to make a classic game like that and remake, like you're never going to live up to not only what the original game was, but then what everyone thinks the original game was, right? Like if you never played it, or even if you're like me and you played it at that time in history, at that time in that timeline, right? Like I remember loving it, and I remember the story, and I remember the reveal, but you're going to come back and try to redo that? Like why couldn't we have just had somebody make a new Star Wars RPG?
Yeah.
Why can't we
for
just do
years,
that?
right, leading into the announcement of Knights of the Old Republic remake, we were talking about, it's most likely going to be Knights of the High Republic. Like this is going to be something new in this new era of Star Wars. And I understand reasons why they wouldn't want to do that given where Star Wars is at currently. Yeah. But that's a big problem overall. And if you're going to go back to the well of what you know works, you better knock it out of the park. You better get that right. And it really is crazy that they might put out a KOTOR and it not be done perfectly. But it's also crazy that they would do a sequel trilogy and do what they did. So
what you gonna do, brother, when this happens to you? Did Hellraiser Revival come out yet? Like, well, I don't even know what the fuck this video game is.
No idea. I see Wiener says Capcom was in the wilderness for years before they figured it out. That's a great point, and something Bless and I talk about so much, where Capcom, when we first started Kind of Funny Games, we talked about Capcom the way we talk about Ubisoft now. They can fix it.
Yeah.
Things were different. The world was different. The acquisitions and mergers and levels that we're talking about are different. The amount of teams that Ubisoft has and how worldwide Ubisoft is compared to Capcom, incredibly different. But Capcom straight up turned shit around. Resident Evil was going down the drain, still selling well, but the interest in the franchise was waning and a joke, and they turned that shit around with remakes and new installments. We need to see Ubisoft do that.
Yeah. I wish them well. I hope it all happens. I hope they're able to pull this out. I'm looking into what somebody in the chat, it's long gone now, was like, Saber's a good developer. I wouldn't count them out. To which I would counter, of course, Saber is a publisher that owns many developers. We are talking, of course, like I said, as the article ends here, the KOTOR remake is now said to be in the hands of the team behind Hellraiser Revival at Madhead Games. So the Hellraiser game isn't out. I'm looking at what they have published. Adam Wolf, Scars Above. What is Scars Above? That seems like the most recent game. Mostly positive reviews on Steam.
A couple other interesting things from the chat for my points are bringing up Jay Jubbin saying Capcom and Sega have both made major turnarounds. Dude, shout out to Sega. I don't think we give them enough credit recently. Like, really, like thinking about what they've done.
Like they shot it to Sega. Yeah.
Like they've done so. What a turnaround! It kind of felt like where they were going down a path to bargain bin.
Yep, 100%.
And now it's like, oh no, they were putting out quality Yakuza after Yakuza and spinoff after spinoff, and also good Sonic games. Good Sonic games. We're getting back to back good Sonic games. Like we're in a world right now that some people are saying that the Sonic kart racer is better than a Mario Kart. Like Sega's doing great, right?
Sure.
Very, very cool. And also, someone brought up Konami. Shout out to Konami, and I think an actual important thing to bring up is when we're talking about Prince of Persia, when we're talking about Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, we're talking about KOTOR. Troubled development. Oh man, there's no way this is actually going to be good. Too much bad conversation over the years about the remakes troubles. I present to you Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Yep.
And Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yep.
Two games that we were having doom and gloom conversations about on the daily, and they delivered in different ways.
Yeah. There, doom and gloom on Metal Gear 3, I don't think we had. We were like, can they do it?
I mean, I think that I'm going back to the pachinko machines. I'm going back to how long the rumors were. But I mean, it's like the studio, I forget the name of them that worked on it. I just had it. It flashed and went away. But like we've known they've been working on it. Virtuous, right? Yeah, there was so much just talk about like, oh man, what have they done before? What are they doing? Like there was like leaked reports about it. Things weren't going well. But then we're all worked out years later. But
While we're here, that was story 4.
Silent Hill 2 remake as well. But, sorry.
Story 6 is required reading. Who Killed the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic's 2's restored content DLC for Switch? Disney lawyers. This is Stephen Totilo over at Game of File. Exclusive How Studios' multi-year effort to give Switch and mobile gamers official access to KOTOR 2's infamously cut content collapsed. The emails, the timelines, plans B and C, the inside story.
The emails, the timelines, receipts.
Head on over to gamefile.news to get Stephen Totilo's reporting on all of that for your required reading. Number 5 on the Roper Report, though. The first official The Boys video game is a VR exclusive for MetaQuest 3 and PlayStation VR 2. This is WYP at IGN.com. That's Wesley Yin-Poole at IGN.com. The first official The Boys video game is a virtual reality exclusive for MetaQuest 3 and PlayStation VR 2. Sony Pictures, virtual reality, and developer Avor announced their collaboration for The Boys, trigger warning, which is due out spring 2026, priced at $23.99. It is described as a stealth action VR game that puts players, quote, on the front lines of the war against supes. You play as an original character who accidentally uncovers a, quote, grotesque Vought secret that turns a family outing into carnage. You are then forced to become a supe and join forces with the boys to infiltrate Vought and, quote unquote, take revenge on in the most chaotic way possible. There are a number of familiar characters in the game, and cast members from the hit Prime show reprise their roles. Expect to see Mother's Milk, Ashley Barnett, Adam Bork, Jensen Ackles also appears as a twisted interpretation of Soldier Boy, created exclusively for the game. In the first trailer, we also see Homelander and Billy Butcher, although there's no word on whether Anthony Starr or Carl Urban reprise their roles. How you feeling, Tim?
I mean, it looks pretty cool.
Yep.
I'm not gonna play it, but like the beginning part, with the footage we were watching with what you were reading did not add up at all. Like, stealthy, whatever. It's like, no, it's an on rails roller coaster.
Yeah,
thing.
it looks like Until Dawn.
But then later you kind of get into some stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And it's funny because like this, it looks good for what this is, a boys VR game. I'm surprised at how high quality this looks. I don't know if you're familiar with the puppets. In fact, I know you probably aren't because you don't have time to watch Gen V, and it's so good.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
that's
so
right.
damn good.
That's
One day, maybe, probably. It's so fucking good though.
Okay.
But we all know where we're all at with VR. But I'm gonna say this, and I stand by it. I love these little roller coaster things in VR. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, you give me a fucking light gun experience on a little roller coaster, like I'm like, hell yeah, I'm having a good time. It reminds me of the arcades. I love arcades, right? So this, I love the boys. Am I going to play this? Definitely not.
Could it be good enough to get you to play it?
I mean, I feel like if this was set up in the studio and I had an hour free and like it was like, Tim, go
You
play
gotta
this
go
now.
play
I'd be like,
this,
fine, yeah, sure. I would do it,
Okay.
you know? But that's my interest level. And I'm a very big boys fan.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. We will wait with bated breath to see if this is good enough to get Tim into a VR headset. But Tim strapping a VR headset to his face would be big news.
It would be big news.
Tim, if I wanted something small, say the tiniest news I need to know about, where would I go?
You'd go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we talk about all the tiny news you need to know about.
Number 7, Wii News. I can't believe it. I put Greg's shit into the Kind of Funny Games Daily thing, more so you all see that I'm not as crazy. Like, are there other people crazier than me? I appreciate this made it to the cut. We have announced StarCon 2026. If you can open that.
Yeah,
this,
that's
of
what
course,
I thought it was.
This is a Starfield thing. The Reddit post reads, StarCon 2026. We are super fortunate to have a whole bunch of people. It's all the stuff, right? StarCon is the first fan-driven Starfield convention, uniting players, creators, modders, and community leaders to celebrate the universe we've brought to life together. This is your chance to connect, share, and imagine the future of Starfield. Then they have a whole bunch of different people who are making amazing mods for Starfield that'll be there ready to talk about it. It is January 24th. It'll be accessible online to fans everywhere. You bet your ass I'll be watching. A lot of cool creations out there. As I've said before on other shows, I have been, and I'm allowed to say this, I was pre-briefed alongside a bunch of other Starfield creators about what's coming up for Starfield, and I am excited about that. Shocking no one, I guess. But I mean, officially stuff from Bethesda. On top of, they just launched, damn, I won't remember the name, and I won't bother trying to find a Reddit. Just last week, a big expansion came out from some of the Starfield creators that I'm excited about.
I think that's such a cool thing that exists and is supported.
Yeah, 100%. Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a trading card game. This is from Cyberpunk Game Twitter, featuring characters from Cyberpunk 2077 and Edge Runners. This physical-only TCG is being crafted together with our friends at Weird Co Games.
Cool.
Good for them.
Yeah, TCGs are popping
They're
off, man.
so popping off
love
right
to
now.
see
They're
it.
everywhere. Yeah. From Jason Schreier, Take-Two has hired Perfect Dark studio head. Earlier this year, this is Schreier on BS, that's Blue Sky too. Earlier this year, I broke the news that Take-Two was close to rescuing Xbox's Perfect Dark, but the deal fell apart. Now, new development. Take-Two has hired Perfect Dark studio head Daryl Gallagher and director Brian Horton to start a brand new studio within 2K. That's great news. I've known Brian Horton a long time. And of course, new studios is always good, especially if a company like Take-Two, who has money to give to people to go make video games in an industry where fewer games are getting made. Or, studios are getting closed, I guess, technically. Via Insider Gaming, Amazon Games' King of Meat developer Glowmade announced layoffs for January 2026 after a disastrous launch. Studio leadership aimed for 100,000 concurrent players, but they only reached 320. Aimed for 100,000 concurrents, but only reached 320 on Steam.
How? Wow.
320. No commas at all in that. That's a heartbreaker. It's a crowded ecosystem right now. Crowded ecosystem.
We played this. I played this.
Yeah, we did previews
stream.
of it. And did we ever do a stream of it?
We did a stream, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah. But it was, it's clearly one of those we're rushing, or not rushing, we're trying to be another not Game Beast. Jesus Christ, I'm that old. The one with the beats.
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys, thank you. From Monster Hunter's Twitter, in light of the recent tsunami
320
warning.
sounds like a type. That just
Google, go to SteamDB.
Like,
SteamDB, King of Meat, Tim. Use your sausage fingers to do it. Yesterday, you might have been anticipating the Monster Hunter Showcase. They delayed it yesterday to an unspecified date as of reporting because of the tsunami warnings yesterday. From Noble, Humanity ends user stages sharing at the end of March 2026. You will still have access to the stages you've created and saved locally. Yoshi, here it is. No, we got it, yeah. 320, all-time peak, 24 days ago. Yoshi's Crafted World official soundtrack is now available on Nintendo Music. Why isn't Zaz
not
music
the
up yet?
worst? Probably Pokemon Company.
They have other Pokemon stuff on there.
That's good.
So it's like I was excited the other day. I wanted to listen to the car. It wasn't
No
there.
rhyme or reason.
Okay.
Nintendo Music, it's up. WND up and down.
Okay. Frostpunk 1886, a remake of Frostpunk, launches in 2027. From Roger, it's a tweet. It's all in caps. The company Rocket Lab that previously launched Gabe Newell's dwarf toy into space will launch something into space right at the end time of the Game Awards, and its name is Raise and Shine on the night connecting December 11th to 12th. Don't sleep this time. It's definitely coming, 100% guaranteed.
Half-Life 3 Truthers, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Game Awards. It's happening.
Finally, that's what you want to see.
Best way to promote a new Steam machine. You still have time to change the name, but...
And that's it for Wii News. We turn our eyes to the one, the only Super Chats over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. John Van Pelt added next year the whole check Tim's hair for me. Thank you very much. Email me the day before so I don't forget, because I will. Krabby Patty apologized for his joke. Said, look, they can't all be winners, okay? Congrats, Tim and G.
I appreciate you.
It's too late
Patty.
to throw that congratulations in there.
I
You've been
accept
embarrassed and you will forever be embarrassed. Foxy Steve has an early hot Game Awards prediction. I predict that we will see a CGI trailer for a game that looks really cool, but it will end up being a mobile game.
Take it to the bank.
Yeah, that's a guaranteed point for you right there. Mr. Brandon Martin says, Metroid Zero Mission might be my favorite Metroid game. I'm glad you're enjoying the replay, Tim.
Yeah, man.
Which one is this?
Metroid Zero Mission is the Game Boy Advance remake of Metroid 1.
Okay.
Of the original Metroid.
Yeah.
And man, it's a quality time. And what's awesome about it is it's 4 hours. And that's even with all the additional content, because the NES game, like when you remake it, it's so short.
Yeah.
They had to add more. So there's
why when you remake it so short?
Because the NES game didn't have maps. It didn't have, like, the save function was barely there. So it was kind of like, it took hella long to beat, but that was because of just brutal difficulty.
Got it.
Whereas this kind of remade it in the style of Super Metroid with so much quality of life stuff. And which is why when people talk about like Metroidvanias, like yeah, technically Metroid started it, but Super Metroid was really the birth of like
What you expect.
the standard of quality of life of all that stuff. But because of that, they added like a third of the game is her in her Zero suit,
Okay.
and so it's more stealthy, like going around. Cool stuff.
Hold on. I'm repeating how great is Tim annually December 9th. Bam. Because our next super chat is Sergio, who says, birthday tax. Happy birthday. Looking forward to seeing how much grayer Tim will be every December 9th from here on out.
Yeah.
Zilla writes in and says, hey, Greg, are you listening to the new Allison Mack interview podcast called Allison Mack's after, what is that, Nexium? I forget how they say it. Because she was in a cult, remember? And then she went to jail before it. If so, has it changed how you feel about her? I am not listening to it. I watched the documentary that I think HBO or Netflix or whoever did back in the day. Shockingly, I really have no thoughts on Allison Mack. Obviously, I'm anti-cult, as you'd imagine, and I'm anti-hurting people and making people be uncomfortable. But I've never had a strong opinion about the actress Allison Mack. Chloe Sullivan, I could talk to your ear off about. Of course, Smallville.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Okay, just making sure. So no, I haven't listened. Not really that interested. Don't have to worry about my opinion on her. Raymond says, Timothy, quote, Joey Fatone Geddes, what do you think of Nat Geo Pokemon AI videos? I, for one, he writes fur like it's, your hair, think they are the Cumbies knees. Very entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like them. I'm not into a lot of this AI stuff.
Yeah, we don't like AI here.
Seen this McDonald's commercial?
No.
Yeah, it was Coke. Now it's McDonald's. Oh, man, it's just... it's not fun.
Flamin' Kid Flip has the final super chat of the day. Greg, you can transfer your Animal Crossing island back to your Switch 1, thus preserving it and leaving you the option of starting new for the update on the Switch 2. What kind of fucking psychopath would do that? Animal Crossing, don't get me wrong, I respect a person like Joey Noel who can just blow it all up. 500 hours, leave it all behind, start again. No, like for me, Animal Crossing is remember when I built this or I put that there or I did this thing or how, like, it's going to be that COVID island. I still have the Joe Biden signs up. You know what I mean? Like that is,
keep 'em up.
But again, I'm going to do a island refresh getting ready for this, or maybe I will wait. I might wait. And when it's the update, then go do it. Cause I don't want to be satiated before I get there. You know what I mean? It's what today's Gregway is about with the Pokemon thing, where I held off. And then since Friday, I've been playing Pokemon nonstop to get ready for the DLC. And rather than be exhausted on the Pokemon front, I'm very excited for tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for you.
Thank you very much. And that's it for Kind of Funny Games. A bunch of people wrote in you're wrong here late. What do we got here?
It's impossible.
Yeah, I know. Somebody say we missed Wii News. Oh man, missed Wii News today. Lego Voyagers has been updated with crossplay support. Says kebabs. There you go. Okay. Wildflower says tuned in late. If you already covered it, Wildflower, founded by Bruce Straley, the Uncharted Last of Us director, said they will announce their first game at the Game Awards. There's a small teaser trailer up. We won't even watch it. I'll just be ready for the Game Awards.
That's cool.
Okay. Pigunagi says Saber Interactive doesn't just publish games; they also have internal teams that develop games. They developed World War Z, SnowRunner. Yes, I know that. What I said is that there's Saber Interactive, and then there's teams underneath Saber Interactive. If you go back and listen, because we were talking about Mad Hatter Games, whatever it was, them being a team underneath the Saber umbrella, right? So again, it would just be incorrect to say, "Oh, PlayStation, they develop good games." Teams underneath PlayStation make good games, and I'd want to give them the credit, but then also use their record to say, "Do we believe this studio you've never fucking heard of that's never made a game that you've played?" Because they made a bunch of games according to Steam. They're making a Hellraiser game, which I feel is far different than a KOTOR remake of one of the greatest RPGs of all time. But we're ready just to say because Saber does good stuff, which again, Saber does good AA stuff. I would say, you know what? You've all gotten me angry.
I'm not going to say it.
I got a Gamescast to get ready for. Ah, Jesus Christ. Breaking news according to Wario64. I'm going to open this up before I just shout it out here because I'm the #1 news source. Yep. MP First reports, according to Wario64, that a new Divinity trademark is uncovered and the new icon for Divinity matches the statue that everybody's been talking about forever. There you go.
Yeah.
You've made me angry and I'm very hungry. Everybody, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every day we run you through the biggest news stories in the video game world. If you like that, pick up a Kind of Funny membership, Patreon, YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Keep the lights and mics on. No bucks tossed away, no big deal. Watch live on Twitch, YouTube, and podcast services later. Use the YouTube super chats, etc., so on. Remember, we're an 11-person small business, all about live talk shows. We're about to roll into the Gamescast, predicting our Game Awards announcements. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.